Hello and welcome back to the channel. Well, it finally happened. Hasbro announced that their Hasbro Pulse EU online store is now shipping to all EU countries. My struggle with getting some of these Hasbro figures is finally over. Let me tell you my story and why is this a big deal for me. Now, if you guys are new to the channel and you don't know, I live in Croatia. It's a small European country that has around 4 million people, and we are a part of the EU. Some other EU countries like Hungary, Slovenia, Austria and Italy are next to Croatia, but this whole time Hasbro's distribution to those countries was far better than here. I have this channel for over 2 years now, but even better, I've been collecting Star Wars The Black Series line of action figures from 2015. So, because Croatia is a smaller market, it's not one of the big guns like, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, or even UK, which was a part of EU for some time. Because of that, Hasbro's distribution in Croatia was awful. We have only one chain of stores that gets few Black Series figures. It's called Müller and it's a German store. But still, what you will find in this store are figures like General Lando, maybe a Vader or Archive Kenobi, and that's it. The distribution was really poor and totally random, so you couldn't collect this line and depend on these stores. My other problem for a long time was that I would usually find, through recommendations, stores based in the UK that had a nice selection of Black Series figures and for a good price. But for unknown reason to me, they wouldn't ship to Croatia. To this day, I never understood that. Why would a store deliver to, let's say, Italy that's right next to Croatia, or even to Slovenia that is also right next to us, and it's even a smaller country, but won't deliver to Croatia? I really don't know. And then another thing is that even if stores from the UK would deliver to me, I would have to pay import charges because they left the EU. So for a long time I was doomed to getting my figures on eBay, and that means that I was never able to get any new figures, but instead browse through and find a good deal on any of the figures that I was interested in, and then I would get them. And those would usually be a bit older figures. Around the same time, I also discovered AliExpress, where I got bootlegs like First Darth Maul, Sand Trooper and the First Stormtrooper. All great bootlegs at the time because price for the originals was just crazy. So I've built my collection very slowly, and then suddenly I found a store based in Belgium that had a nice offer of Black Series figures and for a really good price. It was from this store that I was able to get the Heroes of Endor set for around $100 US. That was a great deal. I bought few other figures from this store as well and never had any problems. But then I pre-ordered Archive 501st Clone Trooper and had to pay something like €2 up front, and when the figure was in stock, I couldn't finish my order. The site just wouldn't let me choose Croatia as a delivery destination. So I contacted the owner of the site and we went back and forth, and after a while he told me that this is some kind of an issue with the site and that it will take time for him to fix it. Well, I pre-ordered the figure back in 2021 and I still didn't get to finish my order. I contacted the same seller a few more times, but he decided to ignore me. So I've lost few euros and that's that. The next stop for me was Zavi UK, a store that was recommended to me by one of my subscribers here on the channel. At the time, they had a really good assortment of not just the Black Series figures, but other brands as well. A lot of my NECA TMNT 87 cartoon figures came from this store. The great thing was that even though they were based in the UK, they had storages across EU, so there were no import charges and shipping was cheap. It all looked good until one day when I wanted to purchase something from them, and suddenly Croatia was removed from the list of countries to which they deliver. I contacted them to see if this is some kind of a bug or something, but no, they decided that Croatia is just too small market for them. Again, I don't understand that. It's not like they had their store here in Croatia and the business was not doing good and so they decided to shut it down. No, they are delivering it to my address and I'm paying all the costs, so why is this a problem? I really don't understand how these things work. Maybe there is some kind of contract that they have to have with each country and that costs them money. I don't know. All in all, I still have one pre-order from them, the NECA TMNT Archie Comics Slash, that they told me that they will deliver to me because it was pre-ordered before they removed Croatia from their shipping list. I pre-ordered it at the end of 2022 and still haven't received the figure, so I'm sure I'll request my money back and get the figure from AliExpress. After that, things actually got better for me. I found two great stores here in Europe that were getting all of the new Black Series figures. Those two stores are My Hero Store in Germany and the Man Cave Austria in, obviously, Austria. The price was higher than what you guys pay in the US. So for example, if you guys pay, let's say $25 US for a figure, I would pay around 30 euros for the same figure, something like that. But the price was still similar to those in Müller stores here, so that was fine. Shipping would cost me around 13 to 15 euros, so I would order figures in bulk. It was okay because now I was actually able to get new waves of figures. There are a few videos on the channel where I'm unboxing huge boxes from these stores, so you can check it out if you're interested. And then I recently heard Hasbro's Star Wars team talk about Hasbro Pulse EU, and I was like, oh nice, I hope this means that they will finally cover the whole EU. So I went to their site and registered, and what do you know, they were shipping to all the big EU countries, but not Croatia. So I said to myself, of course, this is all crap and false advertising. Meanwhile, Hasbro Pulse is sending me emails about new arrivals and things like that, and I'm ignoring them, deleting them. And then Jackson from 1313 podcast sent me a message over Instagram with a link for Hasbro's big announcement. And when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. Do my eyes deceive me? Do I really see Croatia on this list? Oh man, it was about time. Hasbro finally found their direct way to my wallet. So I went to Hasbro Pulse EU and checked, and yes, all of their products are now available to me. Even HasLabs, imagine that. And then another thing, free shipping on orders over 70 euros. Is this for real? I mean, I maybe sound funny to you guys who are in the US or in one of those big EU countries, but fellow collectors who had to deal with same things that I had to deal with understand me. I don't remember that I ever had a free shipping option for any figure that I bought from any line. The prices are a bit higher than for you guys in the US, but that was expected. At least there are no additional import charges and I can still order in bulk and get a free shipping. So all in all, I would say that this is a huge thing, not just for me, but for all EU collectors. I'm so glad that this struggle is finally over. And listen, I'm fully aware that all of this is not a real problem. These are toys, action figures, collectibles. I don't have to buy them. They are not essential for living. I'm just talking from a perspective of a collector who enjoys this hobby. A lot of people spend their money on different things that are also not life essentials. It all depends on what you love and what you want. For the most part, for me, it was like wanting to buy a specific video game that you can't because you live wherever you live, or buying a specific piece of clothing or footwear that they won't deliver to your country. Or it could be whatever, you know? In reality, we don't need any of that, but we love it and we want to spend some money on those things. So because of all the things that I talked about in this video, because of my journey as a collector, maybe now you can see why is this Hasbro Pulse EU expansion a big deal for me. I'm happy for all EU collectors that this finally happened, and to all other fellow collectors who have the same problem that I had and who live outside of the US and now outside of the EU, I would say be patient. Because this is a sign that Hasbro is really working on having a global, worldwide distribution. So I hope that your inclusion will be next. But now I would love to hear you guys. What are your thoughts on this Hasbro Pulse expansion? I know that it doesn't affect you guys in the US, but still, if you have something to say, leave your thoughts below. And especially if you live in any of those EU countries that were not on Hasbro's shipping list before, I would really love to hear your thoughts now when this is happening. But that's all I wanted to say in this video. The struggle, the collecting struggle of the Black Series line for me is finally over, and I hope that this will be something that will last and that it will help me not just as a collector but also as a content creator on this platform. Thank you all for watching, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.